In the studio is Mustafa Caner, who's an assistant professor of Iranian Studies at Sakarya University's Middle East Institute. Mustafa, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
Have we missed anything in those three options?
I think the regional implications is very important. If the US involves the war, we could totally wait for a regional spillover for the countries that you just saw, the countries that have US bases. And maybe we could all agree that Iran has lost most of its grip on its regional allies after, Syrian revolution, after October 7th, in Lebanon, in Syria. But Iran has still some bases in certain parts of the region, so it can use this leverage for attacking US bases, for attacking Israel, and also Strait of Hormuz, as you just said, is very important choke point for global energy trade. 20% of global oil consumption and 30% of LNG trade passes through the Strait of Hormuz. Iran has never closed this strait before, but certainly has the capacity to do so. So it can apply to this option. And let's not forget that the biggest buyer of this oil from this strait is China. So we are now seeing China not explicitly supporting Iran, but we can be sure that in the last couple of days, Iran hit precisely inside Israel some targets, and I believe that it's thanks to the China's satellite capacity, satellite technology, that I think they opened this technology to Iranian use, and Iran was able to use this technology to, hit the targets inside Israel. But if the war, extends both in terms of duration and the area, I think we can expect that China involves explicitly for supporting Iran to this war. I don't expect much bigger support from Russia, because it's busy with the war in the Ukraine. But China, because this area, this geography that Iran is sitting is very important for China's global projects like Belt and Road Initiative, for its oil energy needs. As you know, China doesn't care about US sanctions and still continue to buy oil from Iran. So this is important for China. And if the Iran axis collapses, it's a big threat for China coming from that area, coming from Israel and the United States. So China, I think, will intervene if the US involves this war. So we, in that case, we will not only be seeing regional war, but a world war maybe, because regional implications is very important. US bases is going to be targeted by Iranian force or Iran's regional allies, and also global energy trade will be affected hugely by a possible closure of Strait of Hormuz. And also China will be involved, and Iran will get more support from China militarily. Maybe Pakistan will be involved because it's an axis. Iran, Pakistan, China, it's an axis. Of course, we are not evaluating the situation like Israel and the United States. They are close allies. China and Iran, they are not close allies. But China should support Iran if it wants to conduct its global projects after this time. It needs to support Iran, and if it doesn't, the next target will be China. So there are many options in terms of war, of course. But if Iran and the United States engage in diplomacy, like it is reported 2 days ago, it was reported that negotiation teams are in Oman to discuss the issue.
But the Iranians said that's not true. They said it's a lie.
Yeah, there are many falsifications, there are many denials coming from, and there are many reports claiming that they are engaging in diplomacy, back-channel diplomacy, directly, indirectly. There are many reports. Let's say that these are true, and in that case, if the Trump administration makes up its mind in 2 weeks and choose to engage in diplomacy, then we can expect that this situation will be limited with Iran-Israel conflict, and it will end just a couple of weeks later.
Okay, can I just ask you this question? Okay, let's say the Americans get involved directly in attacking Iran. And your theory is that if outside powers get involved, that could lead to a regional war or a world war. Let's say no one else gets involved, and it's only the Americans and the Israelis attacking Iran. Do you see the Iranian government able to survive American attacks, given that the government is nowhere near universally popular in Iran?
So if Iran doesn't have any help from outside, in that case scenario, I don't think that Iran can survive collaborated attack from Israel and the United States. Iran is a big country. Iran has 90 over million population, and it's in terms of land area, very big country. I mean, 4 times bigger than Iraq, 2 times bigger than Turkey, 75 times bigger than Israel. However, U.S. has, a military capacity that's very much superior than Iran. So I don't see any prospect of hope for Iran in the case that U.S. involves and China doesn't help Iran or Russia doesn't help Iran. In that case, I think we can speak about Iran is divided or destroyed, but totally destruction, I mean, hundreds of thousands of people killed because Iran, I don't think that easily will surrender. So this would be a horrible picture. But Iran will be, divided into many parts, and it would pose many great risks for neighboring countries, and starting from Turkey, of course. So I don't think it would be a good scenario for neighboring countries, Gulf countries, Turkey, or other countries in the region. It would mean total chaos. It would mean that no stable state structure in the region. So it's not a good scenario, I think.
Yeah, and Emmanuel Macron, the French president, fully agrees with you. He's literally used the same word you have. Chaos will come if there is regime change through violence. Mustafa Caner, we're going to leave it there. But look, it's great. You've been in the studio for the first time with